Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we are doing a no-run-through review for Calling Card, a murder mystery game, but specifically the Butterfly Curse, which was a horror escape game. This company reached out to me to do a review. Initially, we were going to do a run-through, but it was just so disjointed because we did one with one other person, and we're like, oh, this is way longer than we expected it to be.
And it's 1 a.m.
And it's 1 a.m.
So Kat joined and ruined it.
Yeah, so it just kind of went all out the window.
Everybody.
Anyway, so, yeah, like I said, we did the Butterfly Curse because it's October right now, and they're currently on Kickstarter, I guess.
And it's spooky.
Yeah, Calling Card, an immersive murder mystery escape game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of Calling Card, the murder mystery escape game? Specifically a Butterfly Curse. Best part?
This string is upsetting.
I mean, maybe if you got the key points right on the map, you would have.
I did.
Would have gotten it.
I did get them right. That was the problem.
Yeah. So obviously, well, one, we didn't do a run through because just spoilers, and two, it's just probably going to be easier to just talk about everything. Yeah. So I guess also slight spoilers on just some of the puzzles that we had. But general broad strokes.
Oh, Seth's dead.
Yeah. So here's my problem that I'm having with these. Okay, so because there's a lot of these that are out now. There's the Exit games. There's Unlock. There is this. There's Hunt a Killer. There's
the random murder mystery
games of like the Chronicles of Crime, Sherlock Holmes. So. I mean, grant those aren't escape rooms, but if they're trying to combine them as being a murder mystery and an escape room, I think you're not going to have a point of reference for this, but Kat will. These are probably, in my opinion, a better alternative than Hunt a Killer.
Would agree.
So Hunt a Killer is a subscription thing that you pay like $300 for 6 months, and you get one episode a month. You can technically get them earlier. You can be like, hey, send it to me early. But it's incredibly expensive, and it feels pretty much like this. They give you 3D objects. They give you maps. They give you documents. But
little trinkets.
And then they also have a website. So the fact that this also has a website that pretty much I thought functioned way better than the Hunter Killer one was this made in '93?
It was borderline unusable.
Some of it was broken.
It's my goodness. Never mind.
Okay.
It's like click this.
It was extremely frustrating with the website on Hunt a Killer, and here it was actually incredibly immersive. I know I was on it for most of it, but I tried to show it as much as possible. But the fact that it had an actual chat function, and this guy was the one talking to us the entire time, and it was very responsive, except for one time it glitched out.
Yeah, just stopped.
He just stopped talking, but I was like, we thought it was part of the game.
Yeah, he just died.
I was like, oh, did he die? Which would have been a cool alternative, but yeah.
The real horror was that he left you on red.
I thought the pacing actually wasn't that bad. He basically, because Hunt a Killer, again, which is what I'm going to compare this to for the most part, is just so open-ended.
Yeah.
You get this massive email, and it's gives you a rundown of the previous episode, then it's hey, find the time of my sister's killer, or whatever. And then it's okay, go. You have website, you have documents everywhere. I mean, yeah, it feels like a real case, but you're just I'm not a detective, I just want to play the fucking game.
Yeah.
And here, it was kind of okay, hey, here's what we got to do next. Boom, 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 boom. Grab this, grab this, grab this. All right, now solve the puzzle. And I like that. I think
it needed a lot of external stuff.
Yeah.
You're supposed to put the Lilith board in the fridge to let it cool down so that it's usable.
Right.
Or there was one part where you had to use a mirror, and it's if you don't have any of those things present, it's kind of annoying to go get.
Yeah, and it's immersion breaking.
Yeah.
And easily accessible too, because I mean, sure, yeah, you can go chuck it in the fridge, but like you're gonna have to wait, and it breaks, like you said, the immersion.
Yeah.
And then like even just going upstairs to go grab scissors, it's just like, why couldn't you have a list of like things that's
All
like,
the
hey,
things you need.
to play this game, like you will need these items.
Yeah, just grab these. Have a freezer nearby.
Yeah.
Granted, you don't need the fridge to do it, but like to make that work.
But you do need warm hands. That is a key component.
Well, so yeah, that kind of comes with the fault of them trying to be too immersive. Is a lot of the stuff it has you do is also, it's not pertinent to solving any of this.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, like one of those you weren't here for, but you had to do. Hold that. Can I have the Lilith board? You had to like hold it and then hold it above your head and then your middle finger to your throat and go gaga magia.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like, I don't like when games make you do stupid shit for the sake of doing stupid shit. It's just like,
It's not stupid. It's a ritual. Okay.
well, I don't want to do a ritual. I want to solve the puzzles.
I don't want demons in my house.
I don't want to like, imagine if we actually went to a physical escape room and then the people watching it are like, oh yeah, now you got to do a little jig to fucking get the next clue.
Like,
And it's
you're
like-
definitely saving this footage for later.
yeah, it's like, how about no, I paid you to do this, so I'm going to do what I want to do.
Well-
And they're like, yeah, and make sure to put on the pilot uniform.
Yeah, because,
Wear that to get out.
and the wig and the hat.
But if you're doing it
The
like
wig and the hat.
that's of your own fruition. Here, it's basically like, hey, this is what you got to do. Because there was also one where we had to like touch. Well, but that one was actually part of the clue. Was we each had to touch a corner and then do a chant. It's like,
And,
okay, let's get into it.
I guess if you don't want to hold it above your head and go goo goo gaga, you don't have to. But like, that's why you picked this scenario. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to do a ritual, don't pick a ritual-based game. Does that make sense? Like,
Actually, this is not even working anymore.
don't touch it. You broke it. And
I don't care.
The cat one pops off. The cat one wants to be seen real bad.
But so, and that's kind of the thing, is they wanted to be extremely thematic, and they're like, okay, a Lilith board that's heat based, that's a real board apparently, for demons to showcase that they're around.
Cool.
And you messed with it way more than I did. What do you think of the Lilith board?
I produce a lot of heat, so I made it work pretty well. But like, I mean, I feel like everything in here was fine quality.
Yeah.
Like, the map is really nice. It's on nice paper. These coins are cool. Don't look at what I drew. Is that no? That camera's not on. Cool.
Yeah.
This string is the worst thing that's ever existed.
Yeah.
But the pictures are cool.
This just went by so quick that it was a lot of like, okay, here's heat. Oh, okay, well, because there was one point where we had to do like this whole tracing pattern. And whenever we finally figured out the clue, which wasn't bad, it was one of those that we got stuck on the longest, because it was like, okay, what's the symbol mean? And how are we getting the directions? Like, it was like, okay, it starts here. It's like, oh, that symbol means go up, or that symbol means a number, and then an icon means go up. And it was based off that compass rose. And we were like, oh, cool. And then the symbols were based off where it was on here. So if it was that symbol, it was go. And then if it was with the triangle, it means go up 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, okay, that's neat. And the hints were awesome. Like, there's no, like, score at the end of the game. It's not like, oh, man, you get 2 stars out of 10 because you suck.
Yeah. That's
But there
why,
was there was one point where Keith is messing with this, and then he finally figures out, and he's moving, like, 10 spaces. And I was like, yeah, you're going to need to do that again because I didn't put it in the translator here. And then by that point, it was already all gone. So then you had to fucking, rub it again.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, and I've always held this stance of theme doesn't always make good game mechanics, and this thing kind of seemed like it was a bit much. I didn't even mess with it all that much, and it was a majority of at least the first part solutions.
Yeah, we played with this thing for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, you have really warm hands.
I told you,
Yeah.
I produce a lot of heat.
Yeah, I mean it worked. It worked for him, and I get and I see why you put it in the refrigerator or something, so it's cold, so your body heat will make it work. But yeah, I mean, like overall, like I'm relatively impressed. Actually, let me check out how much it is, because once again, comparing it to
20 schmackaroonies.
so this is based off their newest Kickstarter. So to get the all games bundle, and they only have 3, is They have Calling Card, which is that one. The Butterfly Curse, and then Hack Forward, which I guess is this, is 125 euros. So
Like 120 bucks.
something like that. Which, I mean, that's for 3 games. It's up to you to decide if that's worth
Like
it or
40
not.
bucks a game. I
Yeah.
personally wouldn't pay $40 for this.
Yeah,
For this one. The calling card one looks like it has a lot more, so maybe I would.
it does look a lot bigger.
Yeah.
This one is significantly smaller, and maybe this is more physically involved.
Yeah.
And then the Butterfly Curse is.
This one says it's an 8+ hour game.
Does it really?
Yeah, 1 to 6 players, 8+ hours, 14 and up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whereas this is like
Free?
$25.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you're paying for the website.
Yeah.
Like most games that have an app, you're paying a little bit more because they developed the app. This was the best part of
Yeah.
the whole thing.
That got
I'm not gonna
us
spoil.
good, yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but that one that one like really got me.
He screamed.
And I think for a horror themed escape room, which there's not many of,
I'd do one of those in real life.
right? Yeah, and I think it had like a few like jump scares that actually got me. Was there anything that like immediately stood out to you guys that like you were just like you weren't into it?
Not to me.
No,
Yeah,
not specifically. Not immediately.
yeah.
Really, the only gripe I have is this. It's the string.
It's the string.
It's
yeah,
the string.
yeah. Only because like. I see where they were coming from with that, and because we had it marked, it wasn't like if we didn't have any of them, and we knew we had to get to a marked one. God, if you just had to be like, well, it's any one of these 4.
Yeah.
But it's just so fiddly to try and be like, oh, this is 80, and now you got to do it in 40, which I guess you could theoretically eyeball it and just keep it at 8,
Yeah.
at 80. But it's like, okay, well, let's fold it in half and then do the 40. I don't know. Here's the issue that I'm finding with escape room games in general. Is because the unlock games I just like so much.
Yeah. They're pretty
And
good.
they're an hour or an hour and a half at most. They're an hour and a half. And then you play real life escape rooms, and they're an hour,
And timed. So like,
and they're timed.
if you don't finish it, you don't finish it.
right? Which that's always kind of annoying because it's like,
Yeah.
well, I paid for this. I should finish
Most of the
it.
time, they like really try to get you to the
Yeah.
finish
Yeah.
line.
But whenever it's like 2+ hours or 8 hours, and you're not expecting that, then it's like, then people start getting frustrated.
And I mean, like, that is another, immersion breaker. It's just like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to sit here for 8+ hours trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, because it does say 2+ hours on this, but like, imagine, it's already at the end of the night. We went to Hibachi last night. We were drinking. Like, I obviously wasn't here because I dipped out. I said, I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I would have probably been like grouchy.
Yeah, you start getting annoyed, and then
Yeah.
whenever you're like, okay, I feel like we're on the right path for this clue, and then you type in hint, and then the hint sucks, and you're
Yeah.
like, just fucking whatever, solution.
Or the hint's just like, do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm doing that. It's
Yeah.
not solving the problem.
It's not like, and I get it. Like the exit games, which we've done, is like has like hint 1, hint 2, and then like the solution. So it's like usually the first hint is really just kind of like make
Vague.
sure you have the items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that even though like this was about like a witch's coven and stuff like that, I thought they did a pretty good job because that theme doesn't work for me for like anything, but I thought they did a pretty good job like making it historical.
Thematically, it's cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they did a really good job making it thematic as well as interweaving the clues to center around that. Because we've done escape rooms before where it's just like, okay, so you have a pirate theme, but none of these clues are pirates.
But I'm using a laptop?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they just Googled, like, combination puzzles and then just threw those in. And it's like,
That's why I like they used the pictures and they had like symbols hidden in them or like the moon in the background. Like, so I was like, that was nice that they actually like genuinely took the time to not just give us pictures
Yeah.
that are useless.
Yeah.
They're actual
Right,
clues.
just to be like, yeah, they're here.
Because that's the thing with To Hunt a Killer, we would get some things that were like, is this a clue or is this just a...
Is this a prop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is this just something I get to keep because we paid so much money?
I know, right? Yeah, no, exactly. So I think for an alternative to, like... I mean, to be fair, as a in-home escape room style, it's pretty damn near close.
Yeah.
Like... Which is extremely impressive. Love the website idea. It took you to external sources like the tour guide page or the survey from the demo, and it was all concise. Like it wasn't just, hey, we just have a bunch of stuff, flounder around and hope you get it.
There was a path.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought it was extremely well done. My least... What was your guys... So the string is your least favorite. What was your least favorite?
I guess I'll say the string as well. Like, I wasn't really involved in that one, but also I tend to take things
She's an empath.
a little...
so-
I was an empath and I could felt that the map wasn't happy. I can take things a little too literally sometimes, so when I can't break it down in my mind the way I need to break it down, I get very frustrated. Which why, like, it wasn't your fault, but when I did the string at one point, I hit the Silent Stone, but I also hit Draco Bones, and so it makes sense. You only heard Draco Bones, but and I didn't reiterate.
Well, and that's the thing that would make them like, oh, witches, dragon bones.
Right.
Oh, for
right.
sure. And nice.
Thanks.
So I mean, I guess the string was definitely frustrating.
Yeah, and so similar to yours, because I actually didn't mind the tour thing. I thought it was kind of, I mean, in theory, it was cool. But the one,
a ruler.
you're right. But the
It's okay.
the wording of the one of where we were trying to find her most powerful spell was like, oh, she went to the spot with her most powerful spell.
Yeah.
And then she left that spot and went here, and it's like,
I get
okay.
so because like I know things have been worded like that before, but it's like, yeah, but where was that spot? Where was that spot?
well, we found it, and then like the wording made it seem like, well, okay, so she beelined it for the first spot with her spell.
Yeah.
That's where we need to find, so I don't really, who gives a shit where she went afterwards?
Yeah.
So just the wording was extremely misleading, and you need your clues. If you want them to be vague, they need to be up to your interpretation for the players to figure it out, but you can't just like misguide them.
If you shoot for the moon, you'll.
If you shoot for the moon, you'll land amongst the stars.
God damn it, Keith.
The best part. That was the best part of the whole
And
thing.
we'll hand that to somebody else. Someday.
Well, actually, so here's the thing. So this was probably one of their shorter ones, which is kind of like when you're looking at the calling card games. When you're getting 3, you're getting calling card, hack forward, and the butterfly curse. So this is definitely like probably the easier one to jump into. But as I was reading the back of this, and which we might actually do this one.
Tonight.
Yeah, we'll just quickly set it up. This specifically says 8 hours, 8 chapters.
Ooh, see,
So
I
an
was gonna
hour a
say,
chapter.
An
I was
hour a
like, you
chapter.
could break that one down. You don't have to finish it all in that one night.
God, yeah, exactly. And because it's all condensed into one box, you can pace yourselves versus... Because in Hunt a Killer, when we would... Because we're like, oh yeah, let's do the month thing. When we're going to the 3rd month, we're like, we don't fucking know what's happening anymore. Yeah, we know what our goal of this segment is, but it's like, we don't remember anything from the previous two, and there was no real last time on thing. So we're like, there were clues you had to solve using previous boxes, and you're just like, I don't remember any of this.
It's like you were being forced to use PTO during your investigation, and then you came back to like all your emails.
I
And
know.
like,
You're like,
what?
I didn't solve that. Well, you know what? Let's just get a statement from that guy and just frame and put him in jail for 15
Listen,
years.
I don't care who did it. I don't care who did
You know
it.
what we should do? Let's go find some guy who might be loosely attributed and just take his word for
Or
it.
even
Yeah.
better, hey, your sister, she killed herself. Okay, so drop it.
Yeah, just
Drop
leave,
it.
Just leave us alone.
Drop it.
Yeah. So, and I like that. I like the fact that it's just as long, and you can pace yourselves, and it's all condensed into one box. So I would say like probably 120 euros. If the hack forward, which I'm guessing, I assumed was this one, is their new one, is if it's the same size, I say that's worth the money, but it could also just depend on how this one is done. So maybe it's like
if that's a $50 box,
yeah, if it was like 50-50 and then 20,
maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like 40
because you
makes sense for that.
You would like if we were just gonna do a whole day of an
Yeah.
escape room.
Yeah.
$50 to do an 8-hour full
Yeah,
escape room
that's
would be
fair.
worth it.
Yeah, that's
I was
fair.
gonna say, I was like,
If it was paced, of course. Like,
Yeah.
you're not just like, I can't.
well, and if you break it,
This you gave like you did.
We show up to the escape room at 8 a.m. You better hope you are through the first 4 hours on time, otherwise you are not eating lunch.
Right. They just keep handing you more string.
I don't want
I
this.
can't, man. I can't.
Bring me a ruler.
no, they don't have those.
No.
Yeah. And this seems like way more, murder mystery based off the pictures and stuff, just way involved. So I think if they're stepping out of their element with the Witch Coven horror theme, I think they did a really good job.
I like that it was more like on the historical side. Like it's still very ooky spooky, but like it's like, yeah, well, look at the town. Look how they tried to manipulate the map. Like, look how.
Yeah. I'm kind of looking at like some of the pictures and some of the puzzles that they are alluding to, and they look very involved. Like with like they're showing one where it's like you put a piece of paper on the rough edge and then you do the shading, and then it shows something. Obviously, they have like encoder stuff and then a map and a marker and all that. So
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to try that. Though again, this review is specifically over the Butterfly Curse. And overall, like, I'm extremely impressed. I like it because whenever they reached out to me, I was like, another one, sure. Like, yeah, I'll cover it because I do like these. And I think if you're in the right headspace for them, they can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They say 1 to 6 players. I think that one says 1 to 8. No, it's 2. 2, maybe 3. But even 3, it's like one person's just kind of
there.
Especially with how guided they are. Hunt a Killer worked really well at 3 because it was so open.
Yeah.
And there was so much stuff that everyone was looking at something. Like Kat was looking at one section of documents, Devin was looking at another section, and I'm doing all the laptop stuff, like doing like researching through there.
It's pretty rare when we didn't have anything to do. Like,
Yeah,
if they got stuck on a cipher, I just let them do it because I was like, I'm not doing
yeah,
this.
there are a lot of ciphers in that. But here, at least for the Butterfly Curse one, it was kind of like, well, I'll let you guys do with that, and I'll just manage the chat and
The
kind of look
website.
through the tabs. But really, it felt like, at least for the Butterfly Curse, 2 players was
Yeah, I'd
pretty.
agree with that.
Yeah. So, without going into obviously too much, spoilers or anything, like we don't want to ruin like any of the big stuff because they did have some really good ones in here. Yeah, I mean, I think Kat and I we might do the murder mystery one. And then, but on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give the calling card Butterfly Curse?
I don't know how much I missed. So
You missed
Not a ton.
You missed a majority of that.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. You got everything else except for the Lilith board.
Gotcha. I guess I'll give it an 8.
8. I'm running an 8 too.
I was also feeling an 8.
Yeah.
So good at
Yeah. So I think that they did a good job. Yeah. So that's it, everyone. Let us know what you think of, I guess, calling card, specifically the Butterfly Curse, in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.